So that game did not go as expected tonight between the Sudbury Wolves and the Barrie Colts. It's the first game back from the Christmas break. You kind of figured maybe these teams would take their time. Well, no, they went back and forth. A lot of end-to-end action between these two teams. And to start things off, Jacob Frasca took part in the warm-up back from his hip injury. Connor Punnett also took part in the warm-up. When the puck dropped to start the hockey game, both were not on the bench. So let the speculation begin. I know the OHL trade deadline is January 10th. For overagers, the trade deadline is January 9th. So both those players, Frasca and Punnett, overagers for the Barrie Colts. Are they on the move? Is it an illness? Is it an injury? Nothing's been confirmed yet, but let the speculation roll. But despite that, the Colts shorthanded a very young roster, and they put up a fight in this hockey game. And it was early on that Jabril Toure took 2 penalties, interference and roughing. So it was a 4-minute power play for the Barrie Colts. And Jack Browdy, playing the quarterback on the power play unit because Punnett was out of the lineup, put it home, made it 1-0. That was at the that was early on in the first period. And then Riley Patterson in the second period, 1:17 in. Great setup from Cole Bodwin. Puts it in, makes it a 2-0 hockey game. So the Barrie Colts, despite the onslaught of shots from the Sudbury Wolves, able to have a 2-0 lead. It was not what anybody was expecting, I'm sure, but the Barrie Colts putting up a fight. However, in that second period, it was all Sudbury Wolves. They put up 23 shots in that second period to Barrie's 8. And after the Colts made it a 2-0 hockey game, it was all Sudbury Wolves, and they would score 3 unanswered. Alex Ferrand with 2 of those goals, and then Quentin Musty off the Bodie Stewart turnover made it a 3-2 hockey game. And at that point, it just seemed like Sudbury was going to skate away with this game. Ben West was doing everything he could to keep this team in it. He made some outstanding saves. Great effort by the overage goaltender, Ben West. But it seemed like the Sudbury Wolves were going to run away with this one, but not the case. In the third period, the Barrie Colts, they came back. Riley Patterson, a great setup again. Cole Bodwin. Those two are developing some great chemistry and tied the game at 3. That was at the 5:11 mark in the third period. And, you know, the Sudbury Wolves, they looked a little gassed. They poured it all on the line in that second period, and I think it was starting to show. The Barrie Colts, they're playing a waiting game. They're very patient, and we're waiting for their opportunities to go up the ice. And that's when they were able to capitalize with those goals from Riley Patterson. And with seconds, like maybe 3 seconds left in the game, Ronak Jodwan had the game on his stick, hit the crossbar. Almost ended this game in regulation, but we had so much fun in this game, we needed a little overtime. And in that overtime period, back and forth, great chances at both ends. There was one point where Quentin Musty collided with a Colts defender, crashing into Ben West. It looked like Anania had a wide open cage, but he put it off his teammate. The Wolves so close to winning the game in overtime. So with that in mind, we ended up going to a shootout, and it would be Bo Jelsma getting the only goal in the shootout. Ben West making a nice save there to end it, and it was fitting. Ben West doing a great job there for the Barrie Colts, keeping them in this game and ultimately stealing those 2 points from the Sudbury Wolves in the 4-3 final in the shootout. Shots at the end of the hockey game, 47-21 for Sudbury. That just goes to show how dominant and lethal this Sudbury Wolves team is. They are just stacked. They have a great lineup, and they don't even have Delbor Dvorsky, who's still at the World Juniors. So this is a Sudbury Wolves team that's very dangerous. Now 1 point behind Mississauga for first place in the Central Division. Their losing streak has now reached 3 games, and now they have to play the North Bay Battalion at the Sudbury Community Arena tomorrow night. Whereas the Barrie Colts, they trying to catch the Kingston Frontenacs for that final playoff spot. Kingston defeating Peterborough 9-1 tonight. So the Colts looking at the Petes as a vulnerable team in that Eastern Conference as they try and get a playoff spot. So the Colts off tomorrow night. They're on the road Saturday afternoon in Brantford, and then they return home for the New Year's Eve game against the Owen Sound Attack. So this might have been the best game of the season for the Barrie Colts. Fun to call, and I'll put the highlights down below, so stay tuned for that. But it's a big win here for the Barrie Colts. Also, just let the speculation begin in regards to Jacob Frasca and Connor Punnett until we get confirmation from Marty Williamson as to what's going on with the 2 overage players for the Barrie Colts. So let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on the game. Maybe do you think there's going to be a trade? Let me know down below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe as we continue with this season, and we'll talk to you again soon.